You've probably used PayPal, right? It's that super simple, trusted button you click to buy something or send money to a friend. But the story of how that button came to be is, well, it's anything but simple. So let's get into the absolute chaos, the bitter conflicts, and the sheer genius that created one of the most important companies in the history of Silicon Valley.
Seriously, the next time you see this button, I want you to think about this. Behind that clean, simple design is a wild history of boardroom coups, full-on cyber warfare, and a rivalry so fierce it almost burned two companies to the ground before they could even become one. And get this, what if I told you that without all that PayPal drama, some of the biggest tech companies we use every single day, I'm talking Tesla, YouTube, LinkedIn, they might not even exist? Yeah, stick with me because how they're all connected is an incredible story.
Okay, so to really get PayPal, you have to rewind the clock to the late 1990s. The internet back then was pretty much the Wild West, especially when it came to your money. There was this huge, gaping problem that someone needed to solve. Buying anything online felt like a total gamble. You were literally typing your credit card number into some random website you'd never heard of, just kind of crossing your fingers. The big banks? Oh, they wanted nothing to do with the internet. And honestly, can you blame people for not wanting to trust online banks either? It was a massive crisis of confidence.
So into this mess, step 2, not one, but 2 super ambitious startups. Each one was packed with brilliant people who wanted to completely change the way we use money. And as you might have guessed, they were about to go to war. One of the key players here was a young guy named Elon Musk. Now, he had just sold his first company, Zip2, for over $300 million. So he wasn't just some new kid on the block, he was already a major force, and he was ready for his next big thing.
So here were the two contenders. On one side, you had Confinity, started by Peter Thiel and this incredible programmer, Max Levchin. Their idea? Transferring money between Palm Pilots. You know, those little handheld organizers we all had before smartphones? And on the other side, you had Elon Musk's X.com. His vision was way bigger, a full-on internet bank. No branches, no paper, just instant money transfers for everything.
But then, something crazy happened. Both of these brilliant, competing teams had the exact same light bulb moment. They realized the real future wasn't about a specific device like a Palm Pilot, or even about replacing banks entirely. The real key was using something that everybody already had, an email address. And just like that, they were on a direct collision course.
Confinity, which had named its service PayPal, built this super simple feature to just send money by email. And it absolutely exploded on eBay. All of a sudden, sellers started putting "Pay me using PayPal" right in their listings. The growth was totally viral. The problem was, it was also completely unsustainable. To get users, they were literally giving away money, burning through cash at an absolutely insane rate. With both Confinity's PayPal and Musk's X.com just hemorrhaging cash to win over the same eBay users, something had to break. So these bitter rivals were forced into a partnership that, believe me, was explosive from the second it started. And look how fast this all went down. By early 2000, they're both burning through millions a month. By March, their investors have had enough and force a merger just to stop the bleeding. But by the end of that same year, the new combined company was already tearing itself apart from the inside out.
I mean, this wasn't just a simple disagreement. This was an all-out civil war inside the company. Musk was adamant about killing the PayPal brand, which people loved, and renaming everything X.com. But the real breaking point was technology. He demanded they move their entire system from stable, reliable Unix servers over to Microsoft Windows. The original Confinity guys, Thiel and Levchin, were convinced this would cause a catastrophic crash. The tension just kept building until it reached a boiling point. Musk decided to take a much-needed break, a long flight to Australia. But while he was up in the air, totally unreachable, his opponents saw their chance, and they took it. While Musk was on his honeymoon, no less, the board held an emergency meeting. They staged a coup, fired him as CEO, and put Peter Thiel in charge. Musk literally landed, turned his phone back on, and found out he'd just been ousted from his own company. It's unbelievable. So, with the internal power struggle finally over, the newly rebranded PayPal had to face the outside world. And, well, the world was ready for a fight. They were suddenly battling enemies on every single front. Just look at this. They were under non-stop attack from organized cybercrime rings. Their users were getting hit left and right with phishing scams. The credit card giants, Visa and MasterCard, were suing to shut them down completely. And to top it all off, government regulators were threatening to declare them an illegal bank. It was a total siege. But you know, pressure makes diamonds. To fight all the fraud, Max Levchin invented something that was way ahead of its time. It's what we now call device fingerprinting. A genius way to identify a specific computer, not just a username, to stop hackers cold. It was truly revolutionary. And their solution to the legal threats? Even more brilliant. Instead of spending millions fighting regulators in court, they did the exact opposite. They went straight to them and basically said, hey, we're a new thing. Please create rules for us, regulate us. It was this totally counterintuitive move that actually saved the company. So after surviving all of that, the internal coups, the external attacks, PayPal finally found its footing. They went public, and what happened next is what really explains their incredible legacy. This is where the story gets legendary. Just a few months after going public, eBay, the very place where PayPal first took off, bought the company for a staggering $1.5 billion. The founders and early employees were now all incredibly rich, but they didn't just buy islands and retire, not even close. And this is where the famous term, the PayPal Mafia, comes from. It's the name for this tight-knit group who took their money, their experience, and their connections, and immediately started building and funding the next generation of companies that would go on to change the world. So remember that question I asked at the beginning? This right here is the answer. Elon Musk took his money and founded SpaceX and co-founded Tesla. Reid Hoffman founded LinkedIn. 3 early PayPal engineers, Chad Hurley, Steve Chen, and Jawed Karim, they went off and created YouTube. Max Levchin built Affirm. Peter Thiel launched Palantir. The guys who started Yelp, they were from PayPal too. The list just goes on and on. It's staggering. So you see, PayPal wasn't just a successful company. That intense, chaotic, high-stakes environment acted like a pressure cooker, forging a group of people who would go on to define the next 20 years of technology. It really was a launchpad for legends. And that leaves you with one last thing to think about. We're always told that chaos and conflict in business are things to avoid at all costs. But what if, just sometimes, that very struggle, the internal fights, the external attacks, is exactly the environment you need to launch people toward true, world-changing greatness?